all are comfortable getting onto cameras, it will be a good, healthy discussion. This is not a one-way street. It is a discussion where all of us will learn Sitecore CDP together as a part of this training program. And the way I want to move ahead here is, if you all feel comfortable, let's get on camera. If not in the same room, still at least on camera is as good as together. All right, so here we are. We are going to kick off the Sitecore CDP training sessions today. And in the first session, we are going to go through the basics, the introduction, and stuff like that. But before we do that, let's introduce you to the presenters of today. Devanshi, would you like to introduce yourself to the team?
Yeah, sure. Hi team. I hope you everyone knows me. I'm Devanshi Kakade, working as a senior site code developer at Horizontal. I have total 8+ years of experience in the field, and I'm working in the site core since the last 6 years from the Horizontal. That's it from my side, Varun.
Thank you, Devanshi. And well, that's me. I have around 15 years of experience all in Sitecore. I've been a five-time MVP, co-founder of the user group called Sitecore User Group India, and host of the podcast called Sitecore Tech Talks. And when I'm not doing technology, I'm still doing technology because I'm an IoT hobbyist. So I keep doing some DIY stuff. And other than that, I am a gardener, so I enjoy my time with my kids in the garden. All right. So, but before we move ahead in the session, we would like to know, what are the expectations at the end of this particular session from all of you who have joined today and who are going to join in the future sessions. So, may I request you to get your mobile phones and just scan this um, QR code and get onto the Mentimeter, please. I'll give everyone a couple of minutes to get started here. Are we good to start, team? Or do we need a minute?
I think we should be good.
All right. So the first one is, so did you get any options on your screen to enter? So basically, what do you understand, that CDP is?
Probably I'm not seeing the options. Is
Yes.
anyone else in the team?
Oh, is that so?
Mm,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no options
No, we are
visible.
not. We are
Only
not
thumb
seeing.
is displayed.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so sorry for that. Allow me a minute. I'll present again. Did it go further for you guys?
Yes, I'm able to see the
Okay.
text box now.
Well, define CDP in your own words, basically. What do you think CDP is? And it could be anything. Cool. Personalized content. All right. Collect visitor data, cloud, SaaS. Very nice. 360 view of customer. Yes, nice. Raise the events, collect visitor data, collects data. Cool. All right. Good. Happy with the responses overall. Curation of data. Yes. Unified customer view. Yes. Content place. Cool. All right. I'll move further in the interest of time, but I love these responses. Thank you all. So what do you want to learn? Or sorry, why do you want to learn Sitecore CDP? Because you're interested in the engagement cloud of Sitecore CDP, or you want to upgrade your skill set, or you're interested in working on CDP projects, or just because Horizontal is giving training, why not just give it a try? Thank you for being honest there. Cool. The ones interested in working on CDP projects, do meet me after this session. I'd love to work with you. All right, cool. Let's move further. Where do you feel you are with Sitecore CDP in your journey of Sitecore products? Do not know it at all? You know it theoretically, you feel you are a beginner, intermediate, you have implemented use cases, or you are an expert. All right, thank you. That helps us understand the overall things that we need to cover as a part of this training sessions. And what do you expect from the CDP training? Do you expect theoretical knowledge, clearing the concepts, use case implementations and examples, or hands-on sessions? Love the responses. Thank you for being engaged during the engagement cloud of Sitecore. Let's get back to our presentation and let me assure you the responses that you generally saw over in the presentation that you want to do some you want to see use cases and implementations, you want to also clear out your concepts, you feel you are probably a beginner, and our journey is to make sure that you are somewhere around intermediate at the end of these training sessions. Although the ask is that once the training sessions are over, you will have to go ahead and do some actionable items, some hands-on that we would provide at the end of the sessions. There is no hands-on today, so do not worry about it. Although from future sessions, you will have hands-on. So the agenda for today is we will look at CDP on the whole. We will have a quick introduction of Sitecore CDP. We'll then look at the uh, overall architecture of CDP as a part of the introduction. We will look at the basic terminologies and then we will have a quick walkthrough. So what is CDP? Right? So CDP is basically customer data platform, and it is a type of software which is, you can say, a part of marketing technology software that unifies all the data you gain from various interactions of one customer and one interaction of various customers for your business and puts it at a single place. The CDP software basically collects, organizes, and clears or cleans up data from multiple data sources and links all the information of one given customer in one unified profile. This helps us build a complete picture of your customer on an individual level and also makes it accessible at various places. Generally what happens is with this 360 view, because we get a single customer view at one place, you are able to understand the overall, customer relationship with a given business. And this single customer view can then be exported out to various other third parties. You can say marketing campaigns, you can say other tools and technologies which help you personalize data or personalize content for that user so that that user feels more and more engaged. Always a good CDP is one who integrates from both the sides, taking data from multiple sources, processing it inside, and then sending out the data in a fashion that a third party system can understand and take care of. Of course, it also answers why we need a CDP, because we want to know what a customer is doing for us. And at the end of the day, the organizational data of any customer or any visitor, any lead has to be an actionable data so that we can take some actions based on those and help increase revenue, decrease costs, improve our business, fine tune our processes. Now, if we go to Sitecore CDP, let's start understanding Sitecore CDP from the view of a customer. Let's say we have a customer here. Whose name should I take from the participant list here? Tell me. Anybody wants to raise their hands, or I'll choose somebody just. All right, let's say this customer is Nidhi, right? So the customer is interacting with the business through various touch points, which is a mobile phone, a laptop, and also going to the shop. These all interactions are all individual interactions and they are of no use till all of it is brought together, because to understand the customer, to understand what the customer really wants, it is always important to curate all this data at one place. So what Sitecore CDP follows is, of course, a basic general rule of CDP, which is data collection, profile unification, segmentation, and then activation of the data so that it can then be used in other channels. All this data, consider it being sitting in silos, and each team, let's say a mobile team, and web app team, and a store team having its own data, right? They are working in their own silos and they are trying to identify the customer. Versus all this data is now curated at a single place. The same customer, who is Nidhi, is looking at all these touch points, and all the data that she has looked on mobile website as well as in the store is curated and put into a single view. How would it look like? This. We will know the, so individually they might have, all of them might have the information about the gender, the birthday. Maybe the store might not have email, they might have phone number. Maybe the website might have email, they might not have the phone number. Maybe the mobile app would have the phone number. They might not have the birth date. Details about around when she is a member, all the various pages viewed, all the products that she has liked. These products liked can be coming from different sources. It could be the website, it could be the mobile where the user is liking, or it could be that they are putting that data in a kiosk in a store. What all purchases has that user made? Based on that, we can generate or allow have a profile of this user and then define that as a segment and do something useful which helps grow our business. I hope this would give a little bit of clarity into how would CDP really work in the overall business perspective, and hence let's see how would Sitecore CDP impact every team for that matter. So let's say a business has brought Sitecore CDP. There are generally three teams where it would affect. First of all, of course, the marketers. They would be more intelligent about the customer because now you are able to effortlessly connect all the data touch points of your customer in real time across every experience and stack. For developers, there are going to be sessions, so you will of course understand how it is easy for developers, but there are robust tools familiar and you can basically enhance your productivity. There are ways and means in which you can automate a number of things and also get a lot of help from the schemas of Sitecore CDP and make it helpful for you to build out experiences which your customer can use. And for businessmen, of course, because it is a modern platform, it's a SaaS product, which means the product team is going to keep adding all the features to the same platform. And technically, you keep ingesting the data and make your system even better day by day. And it's a composable solution, which means you can very easily integrate it using the APIs to any other system. That being said, let's have Devanshi take us through the architecture of Sitecore CDP.
Yeah, thank you, Varun. So, as you can see, this is the architecture diagram of Sitecore CDP. Uh, Here you see there are three ways from which the Sitecore CDP ingests the data inside it. One is the stream API, second is the REST APIs, and third is the batch API. So using stream API, you can fetch the customer's real-time data. You can say it's transactional and behavioral data, such as, for example, if customer is searches something on the website, customer is seeing couple of products, which products they are seeing, how they are adding products in their cart, which products are added to a cart, how the guest is identified. So everything is captured through the stream API and that is ingested to the Sitecore CDP. The second option is the REST APIs. So mainly developers works on the REST APIs and the batch APIs. If you see the CRUD operation, we can perform using REST APIs on the customers and the order. Then the third one is the batch API. If you consider there is a uh, you can say the bank application. Okay, so customer get created through the bank application and customers can also register in the bank application through the uh, offline bank, which is physical bank. Okay, so all of these customers are a part of the bank application itself. So such kind of customers data are processed, you can say the nightly basis, and that is ingested into the Sitecore CDP platform. At that time, the batch API takes place. Once our customer data is ingested the way organization wants in the Sitecore CDP platform, their customers profile is uniquely identified based on some rules. Once we have Sitecore CDP portal, organization can configure the different identity rule because identity rules are you can say the base through which the customer is identified. Okay. So what we can do once the customer is identified, obviously we want to know the customers. We want to, from the business perspective, we want to reach to the customer. Okay. At that time, we can perform the batch segmentation and we perform the analytics on our customers which are present inside the Sitecore CDP. Once we have this list, what we can do through audience sync, we can get the targeted customer. We can send the email campaigns through which we can give them the specific offer, or you can say we can engage more with the customers. Here you can see the end channel could be the web push on your right hand side, the call center, email, social, mobile messaging, mobile push, and marketing cloud. These are the media channels through which we can reach to the customer. Here I'm saying the we means the business. Business can reach to the targeted customer, which can help to grow the business, and they know their customers very well. Varun, can you move to the next slide, please? Okay, as we understood the diagram of Sitecore CDP, the architecture diagram, the next step is to learn the basic terminology whenever we are working with this Sitecore CDP portal. The commonly used term is the guest. The guest is one who is interacted with your brand. Okay, the guest is similar, which is you can consider in the Sitecore XP word as a contact. Here, guest has the behavior and transactional data. Obviously, I'll cover in the demo how the guest looks like, okay, through their data. But the guest is this who is interacts with your brand. Now, the guest becomes visitor when the guest is unknown. Let's say I'm visiting a page and I haven't provided my any information on the page itself. So currently, my guest type is a visitor. This, in the Sitecore XP world, this visitor is known as the unknown contact. Okay. Now my visitor guest type is converted to customer once I know my guest is identified. For example, I'm visiting a website where I'm subscribing for the newsletter. Okay. At that time, I'm providing my personal information, let's say my first name, last name, and the email address. These are the identified information about me. So my visit will be the visitor to customer now. In the Sitecore XP world, this will be known as this is the known as a contact, a known contact, which is a customer in the Sitecore CDP terms. Okay. Uh, I talked about the identity rules. You can say the personally identifier information. That could be an email address, loyalty program, or a unique business identifier. Obviously, we know if I want to know the customer, there has to be some identity. So this identity can be configured by the marketing team of the organization. There's a last guest type which is retired. You can say this is the archived guest. In the Sitecore XP world, the term known as a merged contact. Here, when I visit my web page, and at that time my identity is already there, and Sitecore CDP uh, merge my contact with the already existing record. At that time, my current customer type will be a retired, and generally we don't able to see the retired customer profile. The next slide, please, Varun. Okay, let me hand it over to Varun for the next terminologies.
Sure. And rest assured, when we look at, we have another kind of a flow diagram, which also talks of the data and a data flow diagram at the, before we go ahead into the walkthrough. At that time, we will, talk about these customer types a little bit so that it helps all of us to differentiate between those types. But of course, in the architecture diagram, we saw that there are three inputs to Sitecore CDP platform, which is Stream, REST, and Batch API. Basically, Stream API is designed to capture real-time data. It's a very high velocity and high voluminous data, because if a user is going from one page to another, either in a mobile device or in a website, all that data has to be curated, and all those events have to be captured. So if a user is viewing a page, it is a view page event. If the user is, liking something, a user is signing up, then that also is kind of a stream data that the user is now identified, stuff like that, right? So basically all this goes on through the browser and event APIs. It is also called the Engage library SDK, right? And the browser API basically um, extends functionality to manage cookies and helps identify the customer, facilitating further personalization in the journey. And these event APIs are mainly for event processing and setting up of various events for our application, which means, yes, you can set up custom events and those events can be fired, and then based on those events you can do some actions. The REST APIs are generally the CRUD operations that any user actions do. As an example, as Devanshi mentioned, when the user is submitting their PII data, of course, there is a stream API call which is made that the user got identified, but the data about that particular user, let's say the email ID, the first name, the last name, stuff like that, all that is passed on from our website to the CDP, so that the guest who is a visitor till now becomes a customer. Third is the batch API. Also, the REST API is also called interactive API. So, uh, if you are looking at it and if you hear or you read something called interactive API, it is that. The third one is batch API, which means, let's take an example, all right? Of course, a business, if they're buying CDP for the first time, doesn't mean they don't have any of their customer data, right? A business will not start today and buy a CDP and start off. What if they have historical data in some other systems? There has to be a way to get all that data into CDP so that processing can start as fast as possible. Such things can be done using batch API. So an offline data ingestion can be done, or a periodic setup can be also set up. Let's say there is an e-commerce, right? And you have a system such that you have a nightly order processing scheme, that all the orders that are come are in processing mode, but based on the priority of the customers, based on some business logic that you have set up for your business, you are then identifying that these orders should be shipped, these orders can be still in waiting for some time. In such cases, a periodic sync can help, where you are building a middleware, and those order updates that you are making in your order system, either whether order cloud or any other e-commerce system, are then pushed onto CDP, so that those particular properties are updated in Sitecore CDP as well. Next, we have something called segmentation. So segmentation, consider it data analysis. Okay, so basically it's about grouping or curating different customers into different groups based on their properties, based on their behaviors, based on the transactions that they are doing. Somebody is, let's say, a loyal customer. Somebody is, a type of a customer who is a seasonal customer. Somebody who is just visiting some pages but has not converted yet. What do we do so that we give them the offers to become a customer of our brand, right? All these things can help us increase revenue, improve or fine tune our processes. So such things are basically curation of data, or curation or grouping of guests is called segmentation. And once we have these segments available, we can send the data out from CDP to various channels, as Devanshi mentioned during the architecture diagram. It also involves Sitecore personalize for that matter, right? So all that can happen using only one way, which is audience sync. Audience sync also happens through a REST API call. But mind you, the REST API call for audience sync is different from the REST API calls which are for input into CDP. Those are two different libraries that we deal with. Although this audience sync can target either a group of guests or group of customers, a group of leads, via marketing campaigns, via personalization, or any unique experience that you want to provide them. As an example, let's say we are doing something, we want to provide all those customers who have, maybe bought a lot of stuff during the year. During a Black Friday event, we want to provide them at 40% discount. So we can provide or we can create that kind of a segment in CDP that, hey, all the customers who have say bought more than 10,000 rupees worth of products from my brand, I want them to provide them to have 40% off on any of the products on my system, and I can just go ahead, get a segmentation created, and then push that through audience sync, through email to in all those customers. So here is the basic level of integration. So this is again a very high level diagram. And what we want to show here is, because we have talked a lot of theory, we have talked of the architecture, we have talked of the terminologies, but how does it actually work? So on the left you have the website, on the right you have the CDP. And what happens with CDP is we have a CDN where the boxsaver.js is available, right? So of course CDP was, like Sitecore bought Boxsaver and named it CDP and personalized as two products. So you have a boxsaver.js. You load that boxsaver.js into the website. When the page loads, that JS calls the browser API in Sitecore CDP and requests for a unique ID. You can also call it a browser ID or you can call it a Boxsaver ID. It is called BID. When that BID is generated by CDP and given back to the website, a cookie is created for the user in their browser, and that becomes a visitor. We have the visitor available now, and the visitor is now visiting various pages of the website. All that data is sent by your website to Sitecore CDP using the event API. Let's say a user is doing this on two devices. One is a laptop and second is a mobile device, right? I'm looking at the same website in two different devices, which technically means I will be having two browser IDs. Am I clear to everyone? Because on the mobile device, when I load, of course, the Boxsaver JS is loaded. It asks for a unique ID and the cookie is created in that desktop or laptop. And then when I'm doing that on the mobile phone, all the three actions will also occur. So there will be two BIDs or Boxsaver IDs or browser IDs. And then I am sending behavioral data because I'm scanning through the website on my mobile as well as on my laptop, which means interactions have been sent on both the profiles, which are visitor profiles. Now, what I'm doing is I am signing up on my mobile phone using my phone number, my email ID, which means now I am being converted from a visitor to a customer, right? So out of the two browser IDs which were visitors, one will be converted to a customer. I did that on my mobile phone, which means on my mobile it is a customer guest, while on my laptop it is still a visitor guest. Now, the next time I open my laptop, I am going to sign in using the same email and phone number which I provided on my mobile phone. What does Sitecore CDP do in the background? It takes all those sessions and all those events that the user had done on that visitor profile of laptop and merge it into the customer guest profile of the mobile. And that particular profile, which was the visitor profile of laptop, will now be a retired profile. I hope I was clear while the overall process. I'll just take a few seconds pause here in case if you have any questions. I'm ready to answer.
So if user sign out from the mobile
Mm.
and it again just browse from that. So still that BID from the mobile and the laptop both will be associated with the profile, or once you retire the BID will be removed for that particular moment.
Great question. So even if you sign out, the cookie is still there. So that cookie remains and your data is still being collected. So whether you are signed in or not, because of the cookie, the data will be collected. And this is the first hand cookie. Okay, it's not a third party cookie, it's a first party cookie. Secondly, let's say you also clear your cookies out and you open the website all over again, which means another visitor ID will be created, right? And all the interactions will go on in the same fashion. And with that new visitor ID, if you again sign in, that visitor sessions and events and everything will again be curated to the main customer profile guest, and that second visitor ID that was created before sign in for the second time will be retired.
Okay.
All right. Well, yes, Bhupesh.
I have a question. So this is only for the web page navigation on the mobile device, or like for the iOS app or the Android app as well? Because
For
an e-commerce
iOS,
application can
yeah,
have the apps as well.
yes, yes. So yes, there is. So basically, CDP is integratable with all type of applications, right? Um, the weight is different. As an example, if you're doing a mobile application and it is an iOS, the library that you use to integrate with a mobile app, let's say it's a Flutter app, the library will be different as compared to a web app. Again, it is similar to, for example, if you have a traditional Sitecore MVC website versus a React or a Next.js website. If it is a React or Next.js, what you will use? You will use npm packages, right? While if it is a traditional app, you will use the default JavaScript libraries for integration. Similarly, for mobile apps, there is a separate way of integrating it. Although this particular thing remains common. Ideally, what also happens is with mobile apps, because a lot of those data is not sent back to the server, it is, or if it is only client specific, then it will not be request out. In that case, such kind of data you need to manage using REST API as well as a separate piece.
Okay.
All right. Well, if we are all good, well, in that case, Devanshi will take us through the walkthrough of Sitecore portal.
Yep, sure. I hope the screen is visible.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm accessing portal.sitecorecloud.io. I'm logging into this the dashboard or the home page for the portal.sitecorecloud.io. Once you are logged in, if you have access to the CDP product, in that case, you click on it and you will be able to open the app. Through this part, you will be able to go through the documentation and the developer documentation. And these are the main navigation items of the Sitecore CDP product. Once I land on the CDP product, I see this site analytics where I can see the guest, the average time on the site, sessions, bounce rate, views, guest, the sessions by the time of the day, where I can see on the weekday, on each day, what time the sessions are active. I can see the browser specific data, operating system specific data, and the customer to guest, how many guests are converted to customer, that ratio. So if you see there are 280 guests, out of which the 72 customers are identified. Here, if I click on this gear icon, this is called the settings icon. You can see the company information. See, you are belonging to US region. And this is the manage guest. Here, the manage feature. Generally, we keep this debug feature on to see the all the data in the format through which we can get the information. We'll discuss about this later in the demo. Then you can have a client key and API token for your to work with the APIs. Then you can create the point of sale. For example, you are working on site which is a multi-tenant site. In that case, you can create a point of sale based on the each site to see the site customer analytics based on the each site. And the last one is the identity rules, which we talked in the previously. Here you can create up to 5 identity rules through which the organization is able to identify the uh, visitor to a customer. That could be email ID, loyalty ID, or any unique identifier based on your organization. Here you see the site analytics where you can filter out this analytics based on the point of sale that you are working on and the based on the day, hour, the timely basis. Here when I click on the guest, I will be able to see the all the guest present in my CDP platform. You see the 3 customers are retired because their profile is already merged into the existing customers and there are total 208 visitors. The default guest type filter is selected as a customer. You can click on all to select all the customers. Here you see this guest is not identified yet because they haven't provided their PII information yet. Here you see this ID, this is the unique ID. And the below is written as the email is unknown. Here this is the customer who is identified and their email ID is present. Okay, let me click on this customer. Here you can see the customer details because this is the purpose of the CDP where you can get the 360-degree view of the customer. Uh, you are saying the customer was the last seen 11 days ago. They have no data. The first seen was 2 months ago. The total spend, the actual spend, this based on the order data. This life cycle is convert because the uh, customer is identified.
Can you go to the event viewer, please?
Yeah. Sure. And the other things are the activity heat map, the customer when was active during the day, then the channels the uh, guest is what you say interacted through the web, mobile app, or email. Then the preferred device of the customer during interaction, the daily usage, the orders, and the if the customer is part of any segment. Here, if I move to second tab, which is the timeline for this customer, here you see the session. These are the sessions for the customer. Uh, Session could be a web session, email or web, email or mobile application session, or it could be anything. But currently, as you see, this customer is interacted through the web session. Uh, the session specific data is visible here. Here it is, we can see the used browser, the desktop is used, the web session, and this the operating system, the point of sale, the page is viewed, the session duration. Here we can see if there is any extra information regarding this session. Uh, just a few minutes ago, I talked about the feature flags. Okay, there we had the debug. As we have enabled it, we are able to see this gear icon, which is your feature flag. When I click on this feature flag, I will be able to see this guest data in the JSON format. The same data is also present in a tabular format, but if you want to get the more insights of this customer data, you can click on the show JSON and you will be able to see the full customer insight. The email, the number of emails, the identifier, the identity rule configured for this customer is the this ID. Here you see this is the reference ID for the customer. These are the number of sessions the customers was there. Then there is orders, as customer has not placed any orders, hence the order data is blank. Otherwise, you will be able to see the orders and the order items as well. This customer is a part of this Travis segment, hence it is visible here. Here the interaction can be filtered more based on the card type. If customer has browsed some products, or they have placed some order, or they have added products into the cart and not have purchased it, so cart has been abandoned. You can filter out this interaction based on this cart type. Then there's a date range as well to filter out the data. We see the customer has no placed any orders, hence it is not visible. Now every guest in the CDP has this set of properties. These are the basic properties, and based on your organization, you can add the custom properties as well. If you organization is belonging to some flight booking system, so you can add more information regarding the passenger. The basic information covers the gender, email, first name, last name, and the other details such as the preferred language, first in, last in, their session traits, and the additional information. The additional information here we consider as a guest data extension. Here, as I mentioned, apart from the core properties, if you are adding some custom properties, that is called as a guest extension data. Here you can add total 5 guest extension, and each extension can be consist of 100 properties. That will be like key value pair. If I have existing customer where I can show this extension data, I'll take you there. Then the last tab is the event viewer. The timeline which we saw, that is the more insights in the event viewer. Here, by clicking on this eye, you will be able to see the insights for this particular event. Then there is another tab for the batch segment. As Varun mentioned, we can create segments based on the similar attributes of the customer, or you can say the orders. Let's say I want to create segments, the customers who is belonging to some particular city, or they are, let's say I want to create a customers who has abandoned their card, or let's say the customers who have made the purchase which is more than $100. So I can create batch segments according to that. Then there's an audience export. Audience export. Once we have the customer data, we can create the audience export through which we can work on that data. We can send email campaigns like that. And last is the dashboard. Here, uh, mostly I haven't worked on this, but you can see this is more a view which is useful for the marketers. And the
So these are the
last,
various reports
Mhm.
which you can generate based on, once you have more data into of your guests, of the traffic, the batches, all the things that you can actually do in Sitecore CDP, you can fire a report and see. You can fire a report for segments, how various segments are doing. If you want to fine tune your currently, your previously mentioned segments, if you want to do something, you see that there are a lot of events which are of a particular type and you want to set an audience sync based on that particular type of event, you can do all those things, so that is where these reports help us out. Yeah, Devanshi, go
yeah,
on.
yeah. Um, and the last one is the developer center, where you can see the API keys, which is feature specific API keys. Then there's a connection if you want to integrate your application with the third party. Let's say you want to integrate the weather API. Okay, in that case you can create a connection with some external system or third party system. You can create connection from this portal, external API, or you can use the Sitecore Connect as well to connect with the external application. Here you can create conditions to create condition based on this condition. We can create the segments. And last one is the session traits. This is the new feature just introduced in the product a few months ago. Here we can track the users. We can what do you say? We can use the this using session trait. We can use the user's web session and we can perform the segmentation and the personalization. For example, if we have some customer has visited some product multiple times, so we can see if the customer has visited this product like more than 5 times, we can send some email to that customer regarding some you can say the offer or something like that. Varun, that's it from my side to cover. If you want to add anything else.
Yeah, I'll get back on the presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Devanshi, for taking us through. And well, um, here is the team who is working on the Sitecore CDP training program for all of you. So if you need any help, we are here to help. Reach out to any one of us, and we'll be able to help you out. In case if any one of you want access to the Sitecore CDP sandbox and you don't have it, let us know. I'm an administrator, so I can get you added right away. I'm not sure of others, but I am one. So with that, well, thank you for your time, and let us know if you have any questions even after this session. We'll be happy to help. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Varun,
Yeah, Nishant.
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much for this.
Thank you, everyone.
Session. Are we conducting more sessions on this, or we? If I have a lot of questions related to this, I mean,
This is
those
just the
can
introduction, Nishant.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. So I lately joined, so I just wanted to confirm whether we have more sessions or
yeah.
how it is.
So right now only two are scheduled. The future ones will be scheduled soon. But yes, there are going to be sessions which will cover all the details of Sitecore CDP and further to Sitecore CDP, it's going to be Sitecore personalized. So
Okay.
embrace yourself. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll
Thank
be-
you.
we'll be having a journey of the Sitecore CDP and personalize the engagement cloud of Sitecore, and hopefully it will be good.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
Maybe
Thank you, Varun and
the next
Devanshi.
time, once we have the question answer session, I'll be because those questions might be upcoming, might be
I'm sure.
answered in upcoming session. So yeah. That's why I just wanted to confirm.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes. I'm sure they'll be answered in future sessions for sure. But in case if they are not, feel free to go ask those questions because that is where we can make this training session more useful to everyone, right? You have a question today, somebody else might have the same question a couple of days later. So why not ask it and just get them clarified, right?
Sure. All right. Thank you.
Cool. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, team. Bye
Bye.
bye.